Hey everybody, Rob Tomlinson, aka DishNet34 here, welcoming you to today's episode of This Week in Perfect Team, episode number 204. Oh man, how's it going? How is it going this fine Thursday for y'all? Oh man, what a day we are having so far today. Man, I got a busy day ahead of me today. I'm going to be doing this stream. Got a couple things to do tonight for my job. Covering a high school graduation tonight. It's going to be one heck of a day for me today. So you know what? What better way to get it started with an episode of This Week in Perfect Team? All that good stuff. What area code is 204? I'm not 100% sure. Hang on. 204 area code. That would be, Manitoba. Area code 204 covers the entire province of Manitoba in Canada. So, hello to our Canadian friends today. In the 204 area code. Oh, gracious. Oh, man. What a day we got going on today. We have some brand new cards for you today from our second Topps Dream Bracket set today. Maybe a few extra surprises in the set as well. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But let's go ahead and get started. A couple of notes for y'all today. And we start off with the fact that we are going to have Diamond Packs available starting this afternoon. There will be Diamond Packs for this weekend only. This weekend only at a special discounted price. That will be up until, I believe, Tuesday afternoon. Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon, around that time. So, starting today, going through Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon, we will have Diamond Packs available. Oh man, some good stuff coming up. Trust me, Diamond Packs, they can be fun, they can be heartbreaking, but they can also be fun. So, fun stuff going on there. Also, as you might have noticed, we've had a few LEs come out over the last few days. Got a bit of an update for you on those. As of 11 a.m. today, Sandy Koufax, there are just 2 of them left. And as of today, Rob Ducey, the one that we released yesterday, half of them are gone, half of them are left. So some fun stuff going on there. Plus, we also released a 100-copy Mark Langston earlier today. I don't believe any of them have been pulled at this point. I could be wrong. But we got a 100-copy Rob Ducey in packs. We got the 10-copy Sandy Koufax still in packs. There's only a couple of them left, folks. Then we have about 100 of those 100-copy Mark Langstons that just came out about an hour and a half ago. Yep, Langston hasn't even been pulled yet. Ooh, all right. So still waiting on somebody to get that first Langston out there as of this recording at noon 04 p.m. Eastern Time. But you know what? Why have 3 limited editions in packs when you can have 4 limited edition packs? Well, limited edition cards that are in packs right now. That's right, folks, because we have a 25-copy limited edition card in packs starting at the end of the show this afternoon. And ladies and gentlemen, we will have, 98 overall, right-handed starter, Mike Scott. That's right, 25-copy LE Mike Scott will be in packs at the end of this show this afternoon. 105 stuff, 104 movement, 97 home run rating, 88 pitcher BABIP, and 67 on the control. Some very, very, not a lot of splits here for this Mike Scott card right here. Against righties, 106 stuff, 103 movement, 97 homer rating, 90 pitcher BABIP, and 67 on the control. Against lefties, he's got 103 stuff, 105 movement, 96 home run rating, 85 pitcher BABIP, and 66 on the control. So little bit of, so you got maybe a couple more points of movement against lefties here, but a little bit more stuff and control against righties. Very, very interesting right here. 77 stamina, 50 on the hold runners. He's got a fastball, slider, curveball, screwball, changeup, and splitter combo. 94-96 on the velocity. Now, this was not Mike Scott's best season of his career, but it was still a very, very good season. I believe this was a year or two after his best season in like 1986, I think 1986. 1987 season for Mike Scott, which is what this card is based off of. He went 16-13 with a 3.23 ERA, 8.5 strikeouts per 9, 2.9 walks per 9. He was the All-Star Game starter during the 1987 season, finished 7th in NL Cy Young voting, led the National League in games started, and finished 2nd in the National League in strikeouts that year with 233. Very interesting stuff right there. Still a very good year for Mike Scott. Let me see if I can kind of break down a little bit his splits here. Let's see. Okay, so his 1986 season was like a 2.22 ERA. That was his best season. Had 300 strikeouts that year. Honestly, this was kind of a decent follow-up season for Mike Scott from that supernova 1986 for the Astros. Didn't have as many strikeouts as he did, but, 233 strikeouts in that era? That's nothing to shake a stick at right there. Finished 7th in NL Cy Young voting that year. A 1.122 whip. Pretty good as well. 310 FIP as well. So got maybe a little bit unlucky a bit on defense. Maybe. Either way, 1987 Mike Scott from the Houston Astros. Limited edition 25 copy card is in. Perfect Team 24. Oh, man. Some good stuff there for Mike Scott. Oh, man. So you see those stats up there that I have in the top right of the screen? It takes a little bit of research to put together, this part of the slide right there. And you know who really helps me out with getting some of these stats together? Our good pals over at StatHead Baseball, powered by Baseball Reference. That's right. And you can be a stat head as well. Use code 23OTP25 to get $25 off an annual baseball or all sport subscription. Oh man, it's a fantastic service. It has absolutely been a lifesaver for me at some points. Because sometimes, you gotta pull stuff out of a hat. When you're looking at guys who may not have had, an illustrious career, and you need to figure out, okay, why is this guy special? Why is player A special? Why is player B special? All that good stuff. And StatHead has been a really good resource for me for putting together some of these slides. I mean, I had to look up who the heck Rob Ducey was yesterday. Oh my goodness gracious. But you know what? I have a StatHead subscription. It has been a lifesaver for me, and I think it might be a lifesaver for y'all. So if you use code 23OTP25 at checkout, you can save $25 off an annual baseball or all sports subscription. And StatHead, it's not just for baseball. It's for football. It's for basketball. It's for hockey as well. We got the Stanley Cup Finals coming up very, very soon. You might want to do some hockey stats as well. Shout out to the FHM guys, by the way. You can do that with an all-sports subscription as well. Offer expires July 1st, 2023. Get on it today. Woo! All right, folks, let's go to the meat and potatoes of today's set. Topps Dream Bracket set number 2. Now, you see the description right here. here's the thing. There are just 6 Topps cards that we are going to have today. They're all going to be in packs. And, the team was kind of thinking, it's not a lot of cards to put in a set. The stream would last like a half hour, and the people won't get all their drops. You know what I mean? So we decided to do something a little bit interesting. We'll be including some other non-Topps packables into the set. Now, it's going to be a little bit of a guessing game here that, kind of a fun little side game on the side. Before we reveal the Topps card that we will have, we will also have one packable player that played on the same team as the debut game for that Topps player, and one player that was on the opposite team, the opposing team, during their first game. So, and they may not be in that particular order. So we might be jumping a little bit around with overalls today. We're going to show those 2 cards first, then the Topps card, another 2 cards, then the Topps card, so on and so forth here today. So that's how we're kind of going to do this today. So let's start out with one of those with a couple of those non-Topps packable cards. Then we'll reveal Topps card. So let's get started. Let's go to the 2018 New York Yankees. And all of the cards that you're going to see tonight are packable. All right? Just a heads up. Let's go to 2018, and we go to the New York Yankees. This guy was an absolute rookie sensation for the Yankees in the 2018 season over at the Hot Corner. Ladies and gentlemen, from the 2018 New York Yankees, 60 overall third baseman, Miguel Andujar. Miguel Andujar, 59 BABIP, 67 power, 73 avoid K, 72 contact, 87 gap power, and just 28 on the eye. Maybe a little bit better in some categories against righties than he is against lefties. Let's start with the versus righty splits here. 59 BABIP, 68 power, 74 avoid K, 73 contact, 85 gap, and 27 on the eye. Now against lefties, we got 58 BABIP, 65 power, 70 avoid K, 69 contact, 94 on the gap power, and 30 on the eye. Now defensively, Miguel Andujar was never really a good defender. He was a bat first kind of guy. 41 range, 43 error, 58 arm, and 43 on the turn double play. Looking at this card, I kind of see this being useful maybe in some bronze floor tournaments potentially. Maybe as a DH, maybe like a nice little low cost bat off the bench potentially. Maybe. But the 2018 season for Miguel Andujar, arguably is the best season of his career, and it was his rookie year. Well, might you say he was a bit of a flash in the pan? I don't know. But in 2018, he hit 297, 328, 527 with 27 homers, 92 RBI, and a 130 OPS plus. A very, very good season. In fact, he finished second in the AL Rookie of the Year voting. And he was the number 65 prospect according to MLB.com before the 2018 season. Now, Andujar, in his first game of his career, had 4 RBI, which broke a Yankee rookie record for RBI in their first career game. That's pretty darn good. He also broke another record during the 2018 season, the rookie doubles record in the 2018 season, breaking Joe DiMaggio's record from I don't remember what year that was, but 47 doubles. This guy was a big extra base guy. Oh my goodness gracious. Real quick, don't have this guy steal. 12 speed, 67 stealing, 19 on the base runner. Yep, and then he broke his shoulder and his career just kind of derailed from there, Just looking at the stats, just looking at that first season for Miguel Andujar, there was a lot in that bat right there. All right. I mean, you can see it from the stats in his first year. But man, he just kind of fell off after those injuries, kind of just derailed his career. But man, oh man, that rookie season though, very, very good season, and is represented here with this 60 overall card, which is in Perfect Team 24. All right, next up, let's go back a few years, and let's go to the 2012 Washington Nationals. Probably one of the first, really good Nationals teams during those early 2010s era Nationals, where they were like world beaters in the regular season, but just couldn't quite get it done in the postseason. And ladies and gentlemen, one of their better pitchers from that year was a lefty by the name of 86 overall hardware hero, Gio Gonzalez. Gio Gonzalez, 73 stuff, 106 movement, 100 homer rating, 83 pitcher BABIP, and 54 on the control. A lot better against lefties than he is against righties. 77 stuff, 111 movement, 105 homer rating, 87 pitcher BABIP, and 54 on the control. Now against righties, it's not that bad, but certainly a little bit less than he is against lefties here. 72 stuff, 104 movement, 99 homer rating, 81 pitcher BABIP, 53 on the control. 65 stamina, 62 on the hold runner, fastball, curveball, changeup, sinker combo, 74 on the sac bunt as well, for those of you who are keeping track of those. And let me tell you, this 2012 season for Gio Gonzalez, arguably the best season of his career, pretty much. Went 21-8 with a 2.89 ERA, 9.3 strikeouts per 9, a 1.38 ERA plus. Those now that 1.38 ERA plus, not a career high. He was an all-star that year, finished third in AL Cy Young voting. He led the National League in wins. He led the National League in strikeouts per 9. He actually led Major League Baseball in FIP with a 2.82. So he really, really was a great pitcher this year. And he had only 0.4 homers per 9. Kept the ball in the ballpark right there. This is a pretty nice card right here for Gio Gonzalez. Also this year, he set the Washington Nationals franchise record for consecutive scoreless innings with 25 of them. So that's a pretty good run right there. So there you go. Gio Gonzalez, honestly, one of my favorite underrated pitchers of all time. This guy right here. Gio Gonzalez, 86 overall from the 2012 Washington Nationals, is in Perfect Team 24. Now, let's get to the Topps card that kind of, meshes in with these last two cards that you have seen. Now, this Topps card here, debuted in a game between the Nationals and the Yankees. Now, there's a little something funky with this particular game. This was technically a suspended game. This guy kind of made his debut on a little bit of a technicality, because this game was actually played later in the year, but because it was played early, because it started earlier in the year, this was technically this player's debut game. So we go to May 15th, 2018. For the 2018 Washington Nationals, ladies and gentlemen, from that 2018 season, here is right fielder, 84 overall Topps card, Juan Soto. Juan Soto is your first Topps card of the evening. 78 BABIP, 74 power, 68 avoid K, 88 contact, 80 gap power, and 105 on the eye. And yes, all of the Topps cards you are going to see tonight, they are vertical! They are vertical, folks! And the crowd goes wild! Oh my goodness gracious. Now, he's a lot better against righties than he is against lefties. And Nicolino saying in the chat that all of the remaining Topps cards that you will be seeing, as far as I know, in the Perfect Team 24 cycle are going to be of the vertical variety. So, your necks have been saved. Against righties, Juan Soto, 80 BABIP, 72 power, 70 avoid K, 90 contact, 86 gap power, and a whopping 114 on the eye. And against lefties, it's a little bit of a different story here. 71 BABIP, 80 power, 64 avoid K, 84 contact, 62 gap, and 80 on the eye. So kind of a versus righty kind of bat right here. Maybe a little bit of eye against lefties, but man, oh man, you're going to get a whole lot of eye against righties. Defensively, he can play both left and right field. 48 range, 77 error, 56 on the outfield arm. Defense, never really Juan Soto's calling card, to be quite honest. 38 speed, 61 stealing, and 76 on the base running. 2018 season for Juan Soto, a historic rookie season in quite a few categories. This guy debuted as a 19-year-old. As a 19-year-old in 2018. I mean, we can all remember, maybe some of us can remember what we all were doing at 19. This guy was on a major league roster. Goodness gracious. Hit 292, 406, 517 with 22 homers, 70 RBI, and a 923 OPS in just 116 games. And despite all this, finished second in the National League Rookie of the Year voting to Ronald Acuna Jr. Now, this guy, the youngest player in Washington history to hit a homer, and he set teenager records this year for walks, multi-homer games, on-base percentage, and OPS. Man, oh man, oh man. This guy, absolutely phenomenal. And actually, he's still a phenomenal player to this day. The batting average has kind of gone down a little bit. I mean, but the walks are still there. He's still a very fantastic player. One of my favorite players, really, just to kind of watch, just to see how he approaches at the plate there. I mean, career 423 on base percentage. It's absolutely insane. Oh man, but yeah, let's talk a little bit about Juan Soto and his debut game. So technically, let's take a look at his game logs. So, when you're talking about, the linear continuation of time, social construct anyway, we can go with this. He kind of made his debut on May 20th against the LA Dodgers at home. But when you look at the official records in Major League Baseball, it will say that Juan Soto debuted on May 15th in a suspended game against the New York Yankees. And he hit a home run during that game. Now that game, I believe that finished up on June 18th, 2018. So Juan Soto had been in the majors for about a month or so at that point. It was suspended in the bottom of the sixth. The score was tied at 3. It was completed about a month or so later. So Juan Soto, he actually hit a home run on May 21st for his first career homer, but he hit a home run in that suspended game on May 15th, making him a rare player that debuted, that hit a home run kind of technically before his major league debut. So you're saying baseball breaks causality? It sure can sometimes. But yeah, that's my favorite fact about Juan Soto right there. So there you go. Juan Soto, 84 overall, Topps card from the 2018 Washington Nationals is in Perfect Team 24. Now, if you were playing the guessing game a little bit, Juan Soto, teammates with Gio Gonzalez in 2018, played against the Yankees, who had Miguel Andujar on their team. There you go. It all fits. It all fits together. Get those puzzle pieces in there. All that good stuff. Alrighty, let's go to our next Topps card set here. I guess we can kind of call them a little bit. These are all packable cards anyway, so let's go to our next non-Topps packable card, and let's start another cycle of Topps card here. And we go to the 2015 Atlanta Braves for this one right here. Now, this guy, mostly known as a player for another team, but this was his first season with a new team. Wasn't quite the power output he wanted, but he was still an effective player during that year. Next card on the docket is 60 overall right fielder from the 2015 Atlanta Braves. It is Nick Markakis. Nick Markakis, 73 BABIP, just 10 power, 79 avoid K, 71 contact, 65 gap, and 65 on the eye. He's a little bit better against righties than he is against lefties. 74 BABIP, 10 power, 80 avoid K, 72 contact, 67 gap, and 67 on the eye. Now against lefties, got 72 BABIP, 10 power, 77 avoid K, 69 contact, 59 gap, and 59 on the eye. So mainly a contact BABIP kind of card here. Defensively, he can play right field and right field only. 51 range, 112 on the error, and 51 on the arm. 6 speed, 12 stealing, 7 base running. This guy's going to be slow as molasses out there. Sacrifice bunt at a 4, bunt for hit at a 40. So bunting, not exactly his strong suit either. 2015 season for Nick Markakis was a weird one. Yeah, pretty much the lead of the movie. Yeah, pretty much a singles kind of guy right here. So Nick Markakis' 2015 season was a bit of an oddball year. This guy was coming off like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. First 9 seasons in the big leagues, hitting double-digit homers. This guy just had no power during this season. But he had some good contact numbers, had good on base. The slugging percentage was kind of low because of this. 376 slugging percentage. 296, 370, 376 on the slash line. Just 3 homers in 156 games. So you can't even say it was due to injury, to be quite honest. This was his first season with the Braves after 9 seasons with the Baltimore Orioles. But despite the lack of power, he still finished 4th in the National League with 181 hits during this game, his highest total since a 182 hit season in 2011. And a little bit of a fact, he might not have had the range, might not have had the arm during this time, but my goodness, he could catch a ball. Because he broke the record during this season for most errorless games, most consecutive errorless games by an outfielder on June 18th of this year. Now, obviously, that was at the time. He broke Darren Lewis's record of most errorless games by an outfield. Okay, so maybe not consecutive? I'm not 100% sure on that, to be honest with you. Wikipedia is a little bit confusing sometimes, but on June 18th, Markakis passed Darren Lewis for the record of most errorless games by an outfielder in a game against the Boston Red Sox. The streak later ended on... Okay, so it was a streak. Streak later ended on June 25th, 2015 during a game against the Washington Nationals at 398 games. Man, oh man. So there you go. Nick Markakis from the 2015 Atlanta Braves is in. Perfect team 24. And yeah, Markakis was very good on some bad Baltimore teams. 100%. All right, so now let's go. Let's go to our next player on the docket. It's another bronze card here tonight. And we go to the 2015 Kansas City Royals, the world champion Kansas City Royals. Now, technically, this guy right here did not spend the entire season with the Royals. He was actually traded mid-season. This guy right here. Ladies and gentlemen, we go to left-handed reliever from the Kansas City Royals, Brandon Finnegan. Brandon Finnegan, 66 stuff, 71 movement, 63 homer rating, 92 pitcher BABIP, and 52 on the control. Definitely a lot better against lefties than he is against righties. Kind of a bronze lefty specialist kind of card right here. 74 stuff, 81 movement, 71 homer rating, 105 on the pitcher BABIP, and 57 on the control. Against righties, he's got 63 stuff, 67 movement, 60 homer rating, 88 pitcher BABIP, and 50 on the control. He's got 27 stamina, 63 on the hold runners, extreme ground ball guy, 92 to 94 on the miles per hour, fastball, slider, changeup, sinker combo, and not a bad sack bunter as well, 76 on the sack bunt. Now, 2015 Brandon Finnegan was his second year in the big leagues, actually. He was drafted in 2014 by the Royals, made his debut that year for their playoff run in 2014. And in the 2015, he followed up a pretty good debut season with a 2015 that wasn't terrible, really. Arguably the second best season of his career. He went 5-2 in the win-loss record, a 3.56 ERA, played in 20 games overall, 4 of them were starts. 48 innings pitched in total, a 3.56 ERA, 8.4 strikeouts per 9, nearly 4 walks per 9, so he had a little bit of control issues there. 116 on the ERA+, he had a whip of 1.208. Now, this was his first full season in MLB. He was traded mid-season by the Royals in the Johnny Cueto deal to bring Cueto over to the Royals, who was a big key to the Royals World Series run that year. I believe he was traded, if I can find the thing here, where is the transactions page? Yep, he was traded with John Lamb and Cody Reed to the Reds for Johnny Cueto and some cash. And then the Reds tried to make him into a starter, and the rest is history. It was a bit of a rough go for Brandon Finnegan after that point, going to the homer paradise that is Cincinnati. He made 31 starts the next year, and then it just kind of got derailed from there. He wasn't really the same afterwards. But, Brandon Finnegan, that 2015 season, very effective for the Royals and a little bit effective for the Reds as well. He is in perfect team 24. Yep, and it's Enrico Palazzo in the chat saying that he's back with Kansas City, currently the Kansas City Monarchs over in the oh gracious, what league are they in? Are they like in the American the American Association of American Professional Baseball or something like that? Let me look at this here. It's an indie league. Okay, American Association. Okay, there it is. So, you got a couple clues here for who this next Topps card is going to be. They debuted in a game between the Braves and the Royals. Or actually, no. They actually debuted in a game between the Braves and Brandon Finnegan's team in the second half of the season, the Cincinnati Reds. So, Who could have debuted in a game between the Braves and the Reds? Wouldn't have been the 2015 season. No. This was a guy, Brandon Finnegan. He was on the Cincinnati roster at the time of this game in 2018. And how about we go to the outfield for the Atlanta Braves on April 25th, 2018, the debut game of one Mr. Ronald Acuna Jr., 85 overall right fielder from the 2018 Atlanta Braves. 83 BABIP, 77 power, 55 of OEK, 89 contact, 80 gap power, and 72 on the eye. Very interesting splits on this guy right here. 72 BABIP against lefties, 81 power, 66 of OEK, 86 contact, 74 gap, and 89 on the eye. Against righties, 86 BABIP, 76 power, 52 on the avoid K, 90 contact, 82 gap power, and 67 on the eye. So you're going to get a little bit more BABIP, a little more contact, a little more gap power against righties, but against lefties, you're going to get some more homer power, you're going to get some more eye here. So some interesting stuff here for Ronald Acuna Jr. Speed, stealing, and base running, he's got 80 speed, 90 stealing, and 88 on the base running. Defensively, 61 range, 74 error, and 70 on the outfield arm. He can play all three outfield positions, left field, center field, and right field. However, he's kind of more of a corner outfield kind of guy. Probably maybe a little bit more geared toward left field than he is in right field. That's just my personal thoughts on that one right there. 2018 season for Ronald Acuna Jr. Hey, didn't we mention this guy a little bit earlier in the stream? Hit 293, 366, 552 with 26 homers, 64 RBI in the 2018 season. He had an OPS plus of 143, which that's pretty darn good. He had more homers than Juan Soto during his rookie year in less games. Guy was a big rookie sensation that year. He was the 2018 National League Rookie of the Year, second among MLB rookies that year in homers, fourth in RBI, and first in stolen bases that year. That's right, he had 16 stolen bases to go along with those 26 dingers. And he is the fourth ever Major League Baseball player to record a 25 homer and 15 stolen base season. So pretty interesting stuff for Ronald Acuna Jr. Pretty good stuff right there. Whew. And during the postseason, he became the youngest player in MLB history to hit a postseason grand slam as well. So pretty cool stuff. Okay. Yep. The fourth player in MLB history while aged 20 or below. Okay. I forgot that signifier there at the end. I didn't read the whole sentence on Wikipedia. Yep. With his 15th stolen base on September 22nd, 2018, Acuna became the fourth player in MLB history to record a 25 homer, 15 stolen base season while aged 20 or below, alongside Alex Rodriguez, Orlando Cepeda, and Mike Trout. All right. There we go. I got my facts straight that time. Oh, gracious. So there we go. Ronald Acuna Jr. from the 2018 Braves is in Perfect Team 24. All righty. Next up, let's do another set of players here, shall we? Let's go back to the early 2010s Houston Astros. The early 2010s Houston Astros. You know, those really not so good Astros teams of the early 2010s. And we find the first baseman for these Astros teams right here. From the 2012 Houston Astros, we have 65 overall, Brett Wallace. Brett Wallace, he can play both first and third base. 66 BABIP, 59 power, 41 avoid K, 60 contact, 51 gap power, and 63 on the eye. He's a little bit better against righties than he is against lefties. 66 BABIP, 61 power, 41 avoid K, 61 contact, 52 gap, and 65 on the eye. Against lefties, though, you're going to get the same BABIP at 66, but you're going to get a little less power at 54. Slightly more avoid K at 42, 58 on the contact overall, 49 gap power, and 58 on the eye. Defensively, though, not bad at all. 81 range, 68 errors, 68 arm, and 34 on the turn double play over on the corner infield. So there's at least a defensive value here for Brett Wallace. Speed, stealing, and base running, it's not good. It's just not. 3 speed, 7 stealing, 23 base running, 56 on the bunt for hit. Yeah, and I agree. A Roomba could probably beat him to first. Most definitely. Brett Wallace, 2012 Houston Astros. He hit 253, 323, 424 with just 9 homers, 24 RBI, 101 OPS plus. This was kind of after a 115 game season where Brett Wallace was just slightly less bad, maybe. Basically, Brett Wallace was kind of the poster child for those Houston Astros teams of the early 2010s there. Played in 66 games after 115 the previous year. He had the highest OPS. This is the highest OPS plus season in his Astros career. I believe he had a really good season with the Padres in some partial time there in what was it? 2015, 2016 or so? I forget. He was 4th on the 2012 Astros in dingers with those 9 homers. So yeah, it was hard to find stats for this guy. It was hard to find some interesting info for this guy. I mean, when your Wikipedia page is mostly about your moving between the majors and the minors and not really about your statistical, any statistical notabilities during the year, it's not 100% ideal for research purposes. I'm just saying. But either way, Brett Wallace from the 2012 Houston Astros is in Perfect Team 24. All right, next up, let's go to another gold card here today. We got a pretty good gold card on the way for y'all here. And let's go to the bullpen. Let us go to the bullpen of the Washington Nationals. That's right. We're getting another Washington National here today. Let's go to their bullpen and one of their more notable relievers of their playoff runs during their Halcyon days, or whatever they're called. 86 overall right-handed reliever from the Washington Nationals. We have Tyler Clippard. Tyler Clippard, one of their setup men in their bullpen during those runs. 90 stuff, 86 movement, 70 homer rating, 112 on the pitcher BABIP, 57 control. Ooh, boy. And, you got a little bit of reverse splits on this guy, Tyler Clippard. 91 stuff, 86 movement, 72 homer rating, 113 pitcher BABIP, and 57 control against lefties. And against righties, 90 stuff, 86 movement, 70 homer rating, 111 BABIP, and 56 on the control. This guy, fastball, slider, curveball, changeup. This is one of those guys that was a very good lockdown reliever back in the day. And Clippard, he had a bit of a lengthier career than a lot of people remember. He started as a starter with the New York Yankees back in 2007. This guy was a beast on the mound when he was on. From 2007 to 2022, he pitched in 807 games, 74 career saves, But if we're talking about career holds, I forget if Baseball Reference can do holds. I don't, do they track holds? I don't think they track holds. But if they tracked holds, oh boy, there would probably be a lot of big numbers on that one. 74 saves in his career, a 3.16 ERA, 9.9 strikeouts per nine, almost 10 strikeouts per nine in his career. He was a two-time All-Star with the Nationals in 2011 and 2014. His career batting average against, I couldn't believe it when I saw this. 199 batting average against, with a 244 BABIP against as well. Hitters hit just 199, 282, 356 on the slash line, a 638 OPS in his career. Pretty darn good stuff right there. He also won his first World Series title with the Houston Astros during the 2017 season. I believe he was traded a couple of times. He was traded from, I believe, New York to Chicago and then to Houston. So very, very interesting little thing right there. So there you go. Tyler Clippard, 12 stamina, 53 on the hold runners. Extreme fly ball type, though. That's something to keep in mind, though. 98 to 100 on the velocity. All right, so we have Brett Wallace from the Houston Astros. We have Tyler Clippard from the Washington Nationals. They were both involved in a game during the 2011 season. It was a game between the Astros and the Nationals back when both teams were in the National League. And that was when this guy made our next Topps card of the day, made his MLB debut. So, who could have made their MLB debut on July 20th, 2011 in a game between the Astros and the Nationals? Well, ladies and gentlemen, you don't need to worry any longer. From the Houston Astros, particularly their 2017 season, ladies and gentlemen, 98 overall, second baseman, Jose Altuve. Jose Altuve, 98 overall card, 90 BABIP, 65 power, 99 avoid 106 contact, 93 gap, and 66 on the eye. Now, some very even-ish splits here. Maybe a little bit reverse in a few areas. 92 BABIP against lefties, 69 power, 99 avoid 109 contact, 88 gap power, 66 on the eye. Against righties, he's got 89 BABIP, 63 power, 99 avoid 105 contact, 94 gap power, and 66 on the eye. Ooh, boy. Speed, stealing, and base running, pretty darn good. 88 speed, 94 stealing, 90 on the base running, 51 on the sac bunt, 85 on the bunt for hit. He can play second base and second base only. Defensively, it's a little bit mid. 55 range, 74 error, 36 arm, and 68 on the turn double play. Now, the 2017 season, say what you will about it, Jose Altuve, statistically, pretty darn good during that year. 346, 410, 547 with 24 homers, 81 RBI, and 32 stolen bases during the season. You know, that's a pretty darn good year by any stretch of the imagination. He won the 2017 American League MVP during the season. He was an All-Star. He was a Silver Slugger as well. He won the MLB batting title during that year as well with that 346 average, led the American League in hits with 204, and this was the fourth season of 4 straight 200-hit seasons for Jose Altuve. So, you know, say what you will about the 2017 season, ideal strictly in statistics, all right? And when we look at statistics and what Altuve has done in other seasons, he was still pretty good even after the 2017 season and before the 2017 season. This was a very great statistical year for Jose Altuve. Straight up. So there you go. Jose Altuve, really good contact guy, really good BABIP guy. Not necessarily the best defender in the world, but still a pretty good player. From the 2017 Houston Astros, he is in Perfect Team 24. Alrighty, next up. Let's go to another set of cards here. All right, now let's go to our next little set here. So, let's stay in that 2017 season, shall we? For our next card. And this guy, was a rookie during the 2017 season. Actually, no, he wasn't a rookie during the 2017 season. Forget I said that. But, this guy had a lot of promise for the Milwaukee Brewers that year. Just didn't quite pan out 100%, but he still had a 2020 season for the Brewers during that 2017 season. Ladies and gentlemen, 60 overall from the 2017 Milwaukee Brewers is in. It is Keon Broxton. 60 overall card here, 72 BABIP, 70 power, 33 avoid K, 62 contact, 50 gap power, and 67 on the eye. And there's not a whole lot of splits with this card right here. Against lefties, he's got 72 BABIP, 70 power, 34 avoid K, 63 contact, 51 gap, and 72 on the eye. Against righties, he's got 72 BABIP, 70 power, 32 avoid K, 62 contact, 49 gap, and 66 on the eye. Now, defensively, he's not great, but he's not terrible either. It's not the best kind of defense you got out there, but 74 range, 44 error, 55 on the arm. He can play center field. He is eligible to learn both left and right as well. 92 speed, 87 stealing, and 97 on the base running. And in the 2017 season for the Brewers, 220, 299, 420 on the slash line. 20 homers, 49 RBI, 21 on the stolen bases. He was the opening day center fielder for the Brewers in 2017. However, he struck out a lot. All right. And that's you're going to get a little bit of power, but it's also going to come with a lot of strikeouts with this guy. He finished tied for 10th in MLB in strikeouts with 175. He actually went down to the minors during that season to kind of work on stuff a little bit. He was actually leading MLB at the time of his demotion. But, despite all that, he was one of 15 2020 seasons by a Brewers player all time. That's still pretty good. 2020 season, that's pretty significant right there. One of only 15 seasons? Pretty good. Pretty good. Keon Broxton from the 2017 Milwaukee Brewers is in Perfect Team 24. All right, so we got Keon Broxton from the Brewers. Let's go over to the NL West for our next card of the day. And we go to the bullpen of the 2017 Arizona Diamondbacks. And there were a couple of good pitchers in that Diamondbacks bullpen during the 2017 season, but none better than our next guy here. 85 overall, right-handed reliever. It is Archie Bradley. Archie Bradley, 85 overall. We got 72 stuff, 108 movement, 106 homer rating, 72 pitcher BABIP, and 63 on the control. Tiny bit better against righties than he is against lefties. He's got 74 stuff against righties, 111 movement, 108 homer rating, 73 pitcher BABIP, and 64 on the control. Against lefties, it's not bad either. 70 stuff, 105 movement, 103 homer rating, 70 pitcher BABIP, and 63 on the control. 14 stamina, 62 on hold runners. Fastball, curveball, changeup, sinker combo on this guy. Now, 2017 season for Archie Bradley, he went supernova in his first year as a relief pitcher. He had been a starter for a couple seasons beforehand, and, it kind of wasn't working out. Now, because they had kind of a stacked rotation in Arizona in 2017, they had quite a few big names out there. They kind of said, Archie, hey, bro, you've been good for us, all right? Could you do the bullpen? And he was like, okay, we'll do the bullpen. And even after some turnover in the rotation for the Diamondbacks rotation in that 2017 season, he stayed in the bullpen because he was damn effective during that season. 2017, he pitched in 63 games, 73 innings pitched overall, a 1.73 ERA, 1.73 ERA, with just under 10 strikeouts per nine, about just a little over 2.5 walks per nine. He actually received a vote on the National League MVP ballot, which that blew my mind. And this was his first year as a relief pitcher. He was fourth in ERA among MLB relievers during the 2017 season with a minimum of 60 games pitched that year. That was how good Archie Bradley was. And, little fun fact, in the 2017 postseason against the Colorado Rockies, his first career extra base hit was a triple. A triple off of Pat Neshek in the National League Division Series that year. Heck of a thing right here. So there you go. Archie Bradley from the 2017 Arizona Diamondbacks is in Perfect Team 24. Now, again, if you're just tuning in, let me remind you what we've got going on for content today. All right? We only have about 6 Topps cards to reveal, but we're kind of spicing it up with some more packable cards of players that were teammates of the Topps card in question and on the opposing team of the Topps card in question on their debut game. So, we have Archie Bradley, who is on the Diamondbacks. We have Keon Broxton, who is on the Brewers. They played each other on June 10th of 2017. Now, this guy also played in that game, and this was his major league debut that day on June 10th, 2017. But we are getting his card from the 2018 edition of the Milwaukee Brewers. He was teammates with Keon Broxton. He played against Archie Bradley's Arizona Diamondbacks in his debut game. And that guy from the 2018 Milwaukee Brewers, it is 99 overall, Josh Hader. Josh Hader from the Milwaukee Brewers. Look at this guy right here. 130 stuff, 81 movement, 66 homer rating, 111 on the pitcher BABIP, and 55 on the control. Ooh, boy. Look at the splits against lefties right here. 151 stuff, 101 movement, 107 homer rating, and a 128 pitcher BABIP. Woo! And also 49 control. But 128 pitcher BABIP against lefties. This guy is a lefty killer right here. Now, against righties, you're going to get a lot less homer rating. You're going to get a lot less movement overall. You're still going to get 123 stuff. You're also going to get 106 on the pitcher BABIP. Pretty cool stuff right here. 56 control as well, so you're going to get a little more control against righties. 32 stamina, 85 on the hold runner, so a little bit higher than what you're usually used to with a relief card right here. 32 on the stamina. Fastball and slider combo though, so only a 2-pitch guy right here. 2018 season for Josh Hader, he wasn't the closer at the time for the Milwaukee Brewers his first couple of years in the league. He only had 12 saves during the year, but 55 games, 81 1/3 innings pitched, 2.43 ERA, with an absolutely mind-boggling 15.8 strikeouts per 9 to 3.3 walks per 9. He was an all-star that year, 7th in the NL Cy Young vote, and was the first non-full-time closer to win National League Reliever of the Year. Now, his splits against left-handed batters during the 2018 season have to be listened to believe. Against lefties, 090 on the batting average, a 355 OPS. Absolutely insane. Insane right here. So there you go. Josh Hader from the 2018 Milwaukee Brewers is in Perfect Team 24. All right, let's go back in time a little bit for our next Topps card of the day. Let's go to the next Topps card, not the next Topps card, but the next couple of players that will lead you to our next Topps card, which will all be in packs. So let's go to the 1960s, folks. And let's go to the 1962 Cincinnati Reds for this one. Ladies and gentlemen, their shortstop for the 1962 season is 63 overall, Leo Cardenas. Leo Cardenas, 88 range, 76 error, 79 arm, and 77 on the turn double play. On defense, the bat, not exactly special right here, but the defense pretty good. 80 BABIP, 34 power, 49 avoid K, 70 on the contact, 67 gap power, 38 I. Little bit better against lefties in some categories, but, this is kind of an even split card here. 81 BABIP, 31 power, 48 avoid K, 70 contact, 62 gap, 41 I against lefties. Against righties, he's got 80 BABIP, 35 power, 49 avoid K, 70 contact, 69 gap, and 37 on the eye. Speed, stealing, and base running, not exactly there. 31 speed, 47 stealing, 33 on the base running. Now, 1962 was the first full year Leo Cardenas had as the Reds shortstop. Hit 294, 341, 411 on the slash line with 10 homers, 60 RBI, 98 on the OPS plus. Now, he led the National League in defensive WAR during the season with 2.2 defensive WAR, which is absolutely outstanding. And he had 173 hits, the highest total of his career. Pretty good stuff right here. Leo Cardenas from the 1962 Cincinnati Reds, a defensive machine over at shortstop, is it Perfect Team 24. Now, let's kind of stay around that era. Our next player is kind of a guy that pitched from the 50s all the way through the 1960s. Ladies and gentlemen, 99 overall reliever from those 50s and 60s Pirates teams. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Roy Face. Roy Face, 84 stuff, 96 movement, 90 homer rating, 84 pitcher BABIP, and 107 on the control. Whoo boy. And there are not a whole lot of splits on this guy right here. Against lefties and righties, only a 1-point difference in stuff, only a 1-point difference in homer rating, no differences in control, pitcher BABIP, or movement overall. Whoo boy. Whoo boy. 18 on the stamina, 99 on the hold runners right here. Fastball, slider, curveball, forkball combo on this guy. Fly ball guy, though, 95-97 on the velocity. In his career from 1953 to 1969, he pitched in 848 games, 191 saves, a 3.48 ERA, and 5.7 strikeouts per 9. He was a 6-time All-Star, and he was the first pitcher to have more than one season with 20 or more saves right here. And during one of his seasons, I believe, let me look this up real quick. During the 1959 season for the Pirates, he went 18-1, a single season record for win percentage of .947 with a minimum of 13 decisions. That is something incredible right there. So there you go. Roy Face. This is a solid diamond relief card right here. Even though I might not get diamond relievers in perfect drafts, y'all might consider this guy right here. Roy Face from the Pittsburgh Pirates is in Perfect Team 24. All right, so he gave you a couple of clues as to our next Topps card here today. This guy debuted for the Cincinnati Reds on July 26th, 1964, in a game against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Roy Face was on that team, and Leo Cardenas was a teammate of his on this game. So, if you guys have figured it out, ladies and gentlemen, 99 overall, first baseman from the Cincinnati Reds, 99 overall, Tony Perez. That's right, your next Topps card is Tony Perez, 99 overall. 84 BABIP, 92 power, 62 avoid K, 98 contact, 95 gap, and 83 on the eye. Look at that card art right there. My goodness, what a picture that is. Whew! Hot card right there. A little bit better against lefties than he is against righties. 88 BABIP, 98 power, 64 avoid K, 104 contact, 101 gap power, and 89 eye against lefties. And still kind of serviceable against righties as well. 83 BABIP, 91 power, 61 avoid K, 96 contact, 93 gap, and 82 on the eye. Whoo boy. Whoo boy. Whoo boy. 279, 341, 463 on the career slash line for Tony Perez. He was pretty good at defense as well. 80 range, 73 errors, 77 arm, and 55 on the turn double play. He can play both first and third base. And this is a peak card for Tony Perez, by the way. Whew, boy. 379 career homers, 1,652 RBI. He was a 7-time All-Star, a 2-time World Series champ. He averaged 100 RBI a year between 1970 and 1976. Oh boy, this is a hot card right here. Inducted into the Hall of Fame in the year 2000. So there you go, Tony Perez from the Cincinnati Reds. A solid card right here. Pretty good defensively over at the corners too. Just saying. Also 37 speed, 82 base running, 59 on the base running, 82 on the stealing, I should say. Tony Perez in Perfect Team 24. All right, we got 3 more cards for you. Couple of packable cards that will lead into the last packable Topps card of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to our next card. And we kind of stay in the 1960s era right here. 1960s, kind of leaking a little bit into the 1970s here is where we'll find our next packable card here. Ladies and gentlemen, 79 overall left fielder from the Milwaukee Braves. This is a fun one right here. It is 79 overall, Lee May. Lee May, 72 BABIP, 55 power, 78 avoid K, 79 contact, 76 gap power, and 51 on the eye. He's a little bit better against righties than he is against lefties, but it's not by much. Against righties, 72 BABIP, 55 power, 79 avoid K, 80 contact, 77 gap power, and 51 on the eye. Defensively, 69 range, 68 error, and 61 arm. In the outfield, he can play all three outfield positions, left, center, and right. 64 speed, 89 stealing, and 76 base running. 34 on the sac bunt, and 34 on the bunt for hit. Now, Lee May had a very, very interesting career in both baseball and in music. 274, 323, 410 on the slash line with 94 homers, 419 RBI. He played for Milwaukee, Cleveland, Washington, Houston, and the White Sox. And in the 1964 season, he led Major League Baseball with 44 doubles during that year, which was probably his notable statistical achievement in his career. Had 5 seasons with 10 or more homers, but off the field, this guy had a recording contract. He was a R&B and doo-wop singer on the side. He had his own group and everything. Man, oh man, oh man. Goodness gracious. Lee May, he was, let me find his Wikipedia page here again. Yeah, Lee May was the lead singer of the Los Angeles-based doo-wop group Arthur Lee May and the Crowns in the 1950s, kind of before his Major League Baseball career really took off. So pretty cool stuff right there. Lee May from the Milwaukee Braves is in Perfect Team 24. All right, next up, we have, oh boy, we have a really good right fielder coming up from the 1971 Minnesota Twins. We have 83 overall right fielder. It is Tony Oliva. Tony Oliva, 80 BABIP, 76 power, 83 avoid K, 96 contact, 79 gap power, and 23 on the eye. Oh boy. Against righties, he's pretty good. 81 BABIP, 75 power, 85 avoid K, 97 contact, 81 gap, and 23 on the eye. Against lefties, 77 BABIP, 80 power, 76 avoid K, 93 contact, 72 gap, and 21 on the eye. Not the greatest, range out there in the outfield. He can play right field. That's really the only outfield position he can play. 63 range, 53 error, and 56 on the arm. 21 speed, 75 stealing, 36 on the base running, 4 on the sac bunt, 6 on the bunt for hit. 1971 season for Tony Oliva. Still a pretty good year. This guy was a contact power hitter extraordinaire. Not a whole lot of walks were taken. 337, 369, 546 with 22 homers, 81 RBI, and a 154 OPS plus. He was an all-star, finished 10th in American League MVP during that year. He won the American League batting title, led in slugging percentage, and had a career-high OPS plus during this year. Pretty good stuff right there. So there you go. Right fielder Tony Oliva is in Perfect Team 24. All right, folks, so that leads us to our final Topps card of the day. One more to go here, and we have a perfect card right here coming up. From the Topps collection, ladies and gentlemen, he was a teammate of Tony Oliva in his debut game in 1970 against the Washington Senators, who had Lee May on their team. Ladies and gentlemen, a peak card from the Minnesota Twins. It is 100 overall, Bert Blyleven. Bert Blyleven, 103 stuff, 101 movement, 99 homer rating, 71 pitcher BABIP, and 98 on the control. Ooh, boy. And there's a little bit of reverse splits on this guy here, too. 105 stuff, 103 movement, 101 homer rating, 72 pitcher BABIP, 98 on the control. And against lefties, and against righties, I should say, 101 stuff, 100 movement, 97 on the homer, 70 on the pitcher BABIP, and 98 on the control. Ooh, boy. 102 stamina, 43 on the hold runners, fastball, curveball, changeup combo on this guy. 107 curveball rating. That guy had one heck of a curveball. Bert Blyleven's career from 1970 to 1992, all the way up until 1992. Finished with a record of 287 and 250 with a 3.31 ERA, 6.7 strikeouts per nine, 2.4 walks per nine. He was a two-time All-Star, a two-time World Series champion as well. Led the MLB in complete games and innings pitched during a special 1985 season for the Twins. And he was a 2011 Baseball Hall of Fame inductee. Ooh, boy, some fun stuff right here. Bert Blyleven, pretty solid card, some solid reverse splits on this guy. He is in Perfect Team 24. Yeah, 24 complete games, just an insane amount right there. So guys, there is your Topps Dream Bracket set number 2. For today, we had the Topps cards of Juan Soto, Ronald Acuna Jr., Jose Altuve, Josh Hader, Tony Perez, and Bert Blyleven, as well as some other packable cards: Miguel Andujar, Keon Broxton, Nick Markakis, Leo Cardenas, Brett Wallace, Brandon Finnegan, Lee May, Tony Oliva, Archie Bradley, Tyler Clippard, Gio Gonzalez, and Roy Face. So there you go. Whew, some fun cards here today. All right, before we sign off for the evening, as always, we're going to take a look at our weekly leaderboard champions. Let's see who were on top in week number 7. In the Daily Iron, it was Jim Bowden and the Sacramento River Bats in first place last week between May 15th and May 21st with 115 points. Daily Bronze, it was Jim Bowden 1 and the Strong Batty Tires tied with High Gear 3 in first place in those leaderboards with 107 points. In the Daily Silver, it was Robert Cat and the Denver Highlanders with 117 points, a 2-week streak for the Highlanders at this point. Daily Gold, Holofat, and the Fun Society in first place this past week with 89 points. In Daily Diamond, this is going to be, this has to be on repeat at this point. Jeff LTN and the Value City Viffers on a 7-week streak with 143 points in the Daily Diamond standings. Again, I ask, is there no one else who can beat this guy in the standings? Holy moly. In the Daily Open, Dragglefred and the Seattle Aftershocks in first place with 155 points. Daily Wildcard, it is MacJacks and the San Angelo Warbirds in first last week with 177 points. Goodness gracious. In the weekly tournaments, it was Hip and Knee Doc and the Osbury Springboks in first place last week with 118 points. Perfect Draft Daily, Bluebird Silver and the Underground Turtle Bears taking first place this past week with 124 points. And in the PD Weekly, it was Clark the 7th and the Dallas Skyline Sluggers with 60 points taking home the top spot in that leaderboard last week. Congratulations to all of our weekly leaderboard champs at this point. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of This Week in Perfect Team, episode number 204, our second Topps Dream Bracket set. Hopefully you enjoyed this tonight. I know we kind of did it a little bit differently this time around. We might make some tweaks or changes next time with another top set. We'll see what we'll do on the next one. But, I kind of enjoyed this one, to be quite honest with you. All right, folks. Have a great day, everybody. Rob Tomlinson, DishNet34, signing out. Have a great day, everybody.